For this entire episode, you will have to look at Cooper Kupp.
Koopy Kupp.
He's in my background because he
didn't really do anything, did he?
Background in my mind.
Did he have a good game?
Could have had him.
We got wide receivers. We don't need wide receivers.
That guy in Top Gun. Could have had him, man. We could have had him. We could have had him, man. And then Tom Cruise turns around. He's like, I would have taken Cooper Kupp if I was damn ready. You got that?
Oh,
He shakes
man.
him one extra time, too. If you watch the movie close, he shakes him an extra time before he lets
Just
him
for
go.
good measure?
Ah,
Like, take that.
man.
You're still upset about that one, huh?
Could have had him, man. Yeah. And he's a stud, too, dude. I mean, Chris Collinsworth, I think, wants to take him on a date, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he gets his man crushes, and he just gets
dude.
going.
Well, you know I get mine, too, but I'm calling out another one because Chris is crushing hard. I haven't seen him crush that hard since Tebow was in the league.
Since Tebow was there? Oh, man.
Let's do the show. Hit the theme song.
Let's get this crowd going now. Come on, get him up, get him up, get him up. Hawks on three. 1, 2, 3.
Lofa Tatupu is up in the mix.
Go Hawks.
I'm just about that action, boss.
Takes the snap. He's going to throw down the middle. What a catch!
It's intercepted by Lofa Tatupu.
Holy catfish!
Hey, that's great football now.
It's gonna work now. Let's keep playing.
Who's got my back? I got your back.
That's my player. Trouble playing. Thunder. On one, ready, play.
Russell looking. Russell scrambling. Pump faking. Still looking. Now he spins out.
We got to fly, baby.
40 down the far sideline. He's still moving. He's going to go.
20, 10. They do it again. Touchdown. 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 Seahawks.
It's the Seahawks podcast on the Believe Football Network. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Seahawks superfan Brett Davern, and he is Seahawks legend Lofa Tatupu. Oh, Lofa, don't get it twisted. I like Collinsworth. I'm a fan of Collinsworth, but he has that voice. I mean, look, we tease the ones we love, right? But he puts on that voice. He's like, yep.
It's real? Yeah. It's real.
And I mean, look at him. Like, it's all very. He's like, I feel like his head's always like just.
It is always bobblehead. He's a Cooper Kupp. What can you say about him?
I mean, the guy, he just kind of knows how to get it done. Like,
He's just not quite, but he makes it happen. Yeah, he does. He loves him some Koopy Kupp.
I think he's from Florida, man. He's a Florida man, isn't he?
I think he went to the Gators. I think he went to the University of Florida.
Also, I think I'm right about this. He was like a track star and was pretty speedy back in the day. Might have had like one of the best 40 times come out of his combine. I think he had some wheels on him.
Nice.
Yeah. And played for the Bengals, didn't he? Which
He did.
We'll talk about the Bengals on this episode. Thank you for joining us, everybody. The Seahawks podcast is brought to you by Bet Online. Bet Online would like to wish you happy betting New Year. Are we still saying Happy New Year?
Yeah. Still January.
All right. That checks out.
It works.
Bet Online remains the number one spot for all the sports bets and wagering action for 2022, the new year and beyond. You get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit just by using our promo code.
Believe 50, BLEAV 50.
That's right. Get you started at Bet Online. Football, basketball, hockey, boxing, UFC. Ooh, big UFC fight this last weekend.
I missed it. I heard it was amazing.
Oh, man. That guy, I mean, you want to talk about crush. He built
And
out of
Francis Ngannou?
Ooh.
Savage.
Oh, amazing. Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports. Bet Online, where the game starts. Lofa, games, and games galore. I mean, without the Seahawks being a part of it, that might have been the greatest weekend of football I think I've ever experienced. It was must-see TV.
I mean, insane. There are two games that just it looked like a blowout. Talking about the Bucks game, right? Everybody's laughing 28-3. It's 27-3, and what Brady's done with that kind of a margin. Came back.
Don't make him bleed his own blood.
Right? Did you see those memes going around?
Yeah. You won't like him when he's angry.
The White Goodman dodgeball meme. And then, you got the last one, which was the best one. And then the other two, I think, kind of maybe marred by coaching decisions. There was, of course, special teams in Green Bay or not so special. Mm-hmm. And then, Tennessee's decision to just put the ball in Tannehill's hand for the majority of the game was very, that was questionable. I don't know why you don't hand the ball off at least 40 times, especially after that first play goes the way it does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get into it game by game here, man. I mean, let's break it down sports radio style. Starting with the first game of the weekend, which is, and I hope now everybody's hope to win the Super Bowl, Joey Burrow and the Cincinnati Houday Bengals. Shocking the world, right?
I don't know about shocking the world. They were division winners, that in a very tough division. Yeah. So it's, but yeah, I guess you go on the road. I really feel like, even though Tennessee was the number 1 seed, I don't know if it was the strongest team, when it came down to it. Especially when you got Buffalo and the Chiefs still in it. But regardless.
Tannehill, Derrick Henry, going against Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, right? And just a hot young team in Cincinnati. I like them.
Absolutely. But I think, again, the stars aligned having that matchup, not having to go to Buffalo or Kansas City. And, I wondered how they were going to come back. Of course, I picked the Titans just because I thought, okay, it's a young team, Jamar, Joey, Mixon, those guys are all young. So to have that first win under their belt, I thought they would be like they might have let their guard down a little. But, Tennessee came out, threw an interception on the first play and really just gave them life. And the longer you leave a team in it, it's going to be tough, man. And, there was just – what did you think of the game?
Well, it was an amazing game. It was super entertaining. I got to tell you, there's something about the Cincinnati uniforms that I've always loved since I was a kid. Probably just it's that Tony the Tiger look or something that's just still in there from when I was a kid. But
big Frosted Flakes guy, huh?
Yeah, right? Why not? But so fun to watch right off the bat. But then when Tannehill throws that interception there at the end, it was just like, oh.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, there's 30 seconds left. So I just didn't get the corner they were sitting on that all day. Yeah. The few throws he did have were, downtown to AJ Brown, he was killing it. But the series before that, you got a 3rd and 1 and a 4th and 1, right? And if Vrabel obviously said, yeah, we're going to go for it. So just pick whatever play. You picked a shotgun zone read with Tannehill, and hand the ball off because the guy didn't collapse. It wasn't like, oh, this is the read. I feel like he was trying to make up for the other 2 interceptions he threw, and he was like, yo, I got this. Oh, shit, I don't. So
it went from I got this to I don't got this very quickly.
Yeah, somebody take it. Somebody take it.
A rookie kicker with ice water in his veins, right?
Yeah. From McPherson, right?
Yeah.
I believe he's from Florida, and he was coached by one of my good friends, the great Shane Graham. Shout out to Shane-o. Right. Shane was a clutch kicker, and, maybe he told him about moments like this, but credit to the kid because he's a rookie kicker, and he's made a lot of big kicks for them this year.
Looked like he knew it right away, too. A lot of confidence, and we'll get to the rest of the weekend here in a second, but, they are now my pick, man, because – I don't know how I can really root for any of these other teams.
No.
So I'm going to ride Joey Burrow and Jamar Chase in this fun, exciting team. They remind me of a Seahawks team I knew once, quarterback in his second season, a lot of young talent, a lot of hungry vets, things like that. Cool.
I don't know if they have the defense.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough part. It's going to be a test this week. If they get past this week, well, I'm rooting for any AFC team right now. Well, I don't want the Niners or the Rams to go.
Let's forget or leave out Joe Mixon also. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, they got 3 number 1 receivers though: Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins. It's like,
yeah.
And then Uzama. I mean, they got weapons over there.
Yeah.
Again, they're going to see an offense that if they can weather this storm and somehow come out of this with a win, they should have no problem in the Super Bowl.
I think I read somewhere that Joe Burrow in playoff games, whether it was high school and then of course the playoff in college and then now the playoffs in the NFL, is undefeated in the playoffs in his life.
Is that good?
So
do you like that sort of thing?
That's amazing. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Second game of the weekend was
San Fran Green Bay. Was that the?
Yep. In the snow, classic Lambeau Field. You, of course, Lofa, as we all know, is meh on Lambeau Field, says it's not that big a deal, doesn't even like the building, hated the whole experience. Is that what you said? That's probably overstating it a bit.
Yeah, I don't think I ever won there. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Fuck that place, man. Let's get to the game. Thanks for bringing up bad memories. Let's get to the game.
Anyway, yeah, well, but it was kind of a fun game to watch just from a spectator standpoint with the snow and everything like that. Very classic, and a classic matchup between the Niners and the Packers. And, you know, another number 1 seed goes down at the buzzer to Robbie Gould. Robbie, take your life. Still. I mean, dude, he was for the Bears with you guys back in the day, right?
Any other memories you want? Let's talk about Super Bowl 40.
No, I knew that was him. And as he was lining up, I was like, he's going to hit this. He does this all the time to fan bases.
Yeah, he kicked the game winner. I was like 52 yards into the wind in Chicago. And, you know, like I've talked about it. We lined up and I was like, we blocked probably 4 or 5 kicks that year that were like 5 yards closer, you know, easier. Yeah. I was like, so like a 48-yarder was hard to make. We blocked several of those. So when you line up for like a 53, I was like, no chance, not into the wind.
Snowy in Chicago and the whole.
Yeah. Oh, it was windy as hell too. And he like into the wind. And like when it went up over my D lineman's hand, I was like, there's no way that's making it. I turned around and I was like, holy shit, that thing is still going. And sure enough, game over. But yeah, still ruining lives. Good for him.
Yeah. Did you see the video of him in the pregame? The Packers were running out. They're doing the player announcements, and there's Gould on the field kicking it over their heads in complete disrespect for them.
How do you not go block the kick?
I mean, he's ignoring. I mean, if you want to talk about shutting out the noise or like working on that sort of like mindfulness, whatever, like everything's going on around him. The PA is going crazy. The crowd's going crazy. There's literally a line of players in front of him, and he's just kicking it over their head anyway. Pretty cool.
Completely disrespectful. I do like that. But, I mean, how do you not kick that thing off the tee before he, like you see one of them go over your head. You're like, all right. Dude, get out of here, fool.
Over them from like a pretty good distance back, but then moves it closer to them and kicks it.
It was like 5 yards away.
Yeah.
And then did you show the latest one? I don't know if it's fucking photoshopped or what, but the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are like running down the seams, and he's in the middle kicking warm-up kicks in like the middle of their performance.
All my man does is wake up and kick field goals. That's what he
loves
does.
It. He lives it. Yeah.
Absolute. And the Niners, I mean, let's get into the game a little bit because, they were physical. I mean, everything you want. I mean, the NFC West, man, like really showing out in these playoffs here. And it was a good, comeback by them, gritty.
It looked like they had no business in that game. Like Aaron walked down the field, scored a touchdown, turned around. They get the ball back. Well, they get the ball back, come back, and a fumble happens. Uh-huh. And then I think another series or two later, they get the ball, they drive all the way down, miss a field goal. Now we're talking about field goal blocked, talking about special teams. Yep. But it looked like, and I guarantee if you talk to the Packers, they're like, oh, yeah, we were just waiting to win. Kind of like what happened to Chicago to us, right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, we got this. We're up 10 in the fourth. But and then you get a punt block for a touchdown. Like that was tough, man. That was tough to watch, from a win and you're in, or lose and go home. Like, because you've been there, and you're just like, what the hell just happened?
It was tough for me to watch because I couldn't figure out who to root for.
Yeah.
So I was just rooting for absolute chaos, which is basically what happened. So I was happy after the game, even though it was the Santa Clara Niners coming out of there with a W.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I felt.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't mind seeing Karen Rodgers out of the playoffs too. Let's be honest, it's fine.
I called out
on vacation.
I called out 3 quarterbacks last week. 2 of them made me look horrible. Of course, I'm talking about Stafford finally showed up, and Josh Allen. I'll never say anything bad about him again. But I called out Jimmy G String too, and he did not do anything to change my mind. I mean, what do you have? 110 yards and no touchdowns and 1 interception?
Yeah, he's Jimmy G.
Well,
but
can you win with that though? I mean, they are,
brother. I mean, look, we have Russell Wilson, and that name carries a lot more weight in, as it should around with it. But if you just want to talk about playoffs and making it through the playoffs, this will be Jimmy G's how many NFC Championship games in how many years? And
second in 3 years, I think. Right, second in 3 years.
What have we been doing lately? So, laugh all you want, but he's making it further in the playoffs than our guy.
Because he has a defense and a run game.
Ding, ding, ding. Wait, where's my sound effect? Hold on.
Yeah, where is it?
Moving on.
That sounds more like a trolley.
It only if it goes like this.
Ah, there you go. No, that was more ice cream, though.
Oh, ice cream would be more like.
Ooh. Moving on.
Life's all about timing, Anyway, moving on. The next game of the weekend was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and who some people say is the GOAT, but that's only some people. Tom Brady. Taking on the other spoilers of the weekend, sort of. Or, I don't know. How did you see that game? I
mean, LA came out and they were kicking ass. Like they took it to them. The Buccaneers, which was very uncharacteristic of them, just looked undisciplined. I mean, not only in their defense, but with all the unsportsmanlikes. It was, it's like, I don't know, like they were hoping the ref would save them. And
I was surprised. That was my word sort of right off the top. Like, not that I thought, I was just so surprised that the Rams were up on them so fast, and that there was seemingly nothing that the Bucs could do. And it felt just like that Super Bowl against Atlanta for Tom, where it was like, this is over, pack it in. But, they kept saying it, credit to Al Michaels, of course, the legend, beast, Hall of Famer. He was like, this has happened before. Yeah. And sure enough, here comes Tom and the guys. And, I hate it when Tom complains to the refs, because then I just don't like him again. He just looks like such a whiny little baby sometimes on the field, Like the one where he got bloody. It's like, Tom, plenty of quarterbacks who aren't Tom Brady never get that call all year long. We see it all the time with Russell, who doesn't get that call sometimes. Like, enough is enough, Tom, Yeah. A little weak sauce, in my opinion.
Okay.
But then the Weddle call, I'm kind of on the other side on that one. I mean, but then again, I like a 90s kind of hard smash mouth football too. But under the new rules, I feel like that Weddle call on Mike Evans was supposed to have been called and should have been down.
That should have been called.
In the NFL, at least, I'm saying.
I mean, seemingly everything, and it was almost like vintage McVay, like letting a team back in because I'm just going to throw the ball and throw the ball and throw the ball. Yeah. And you looked at – they went after that last Brady fumble that they're down 2 touchdowns. I think there's 7 minutes to go. And they shotgun empty. As soon as they came out shotgun empty, I looked at my boy. I was like, you got to be shitting me. They're going to actually throw this ball. Yeah. And the snap, just 30 yards back by him.
That was insane.
And I was like, you get what you deserve here. I hope the Bucs come back and win now because you have no business throwing the ball there. And it's just make it a 3-score game. And now it's definitely over. It was literally like the Falcons when they had it, first and 10 on the 20. If you took 3 knees and kicked a field goal, you're making it a 2-score game with 2 minutes to go. Yeah. And it's just not going to happen. You don't have enough time. So when that happened, and then Tom hit Evans on that go route past Ramsey. Now it's a 1-score game. And then they go and they get the ball back, and they don't get the call when Weddle hits him, the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now they run the ball. And so, and Cam Akers fumbles. It was a hell of a play by Sue. And then Tom does what he does, comes down that 4th and 1 when he bounced it outside Fournette. That was insane.
Dude, insane. I mean, dude, I'm tweeting the whole, I was kind of like live tweeting that game just for fun. Yeah. And, doing a bit of trolling too, just because I think it's funny sometimes. So like at the very beginning of the game, when the Bucs were way down, I just tweeted like, see, I told you Brady sucks.
Oh,
to be funny. But then he starts coming back. And then I tweeted like, you're welcome, Tampa. Cause
you put the reverse whammy on him.
Yeah, I put the reverse whammy on him. But then that game became me tweeting, Tom Brady is the luckiest football player of all time. I mean, come on, guys. Like, we decide to throw it on the goal line. You know what I mean? There's a snap over Stafford's head. Then Akers fumbles at the perfect moment. Like, things were just falling right into Tom Brady's lap. And,
hey, man.
But then the Cooper Kupp bomb. But, like, it was like I've never seen things just fall so perfectly for one player all the time.
It's playoff football, and buttholes get tight. I'll say that. I'll say that, man. They're just like, I don't know. I don't know if I should make this throw. Okay, interception.
Wow.
It happens. Shit happens.
Man, but then, so you got the great comeback and all of that, but then,
yeah.
And Cooper Kupp. Hello, let me introduce Cooper Kupp. He's the number 1 wide receiver in the league this year.
Matt Stafford played arguably one of the best games I've seen a quarterback play. And so apologies on all the call-outs, but he's still 2-3 in the playoffs, so not a winning record yet. I'm not going to give him too much credit.
Blind squirrel can find a nut every now and then.
But when they needed him most, he stepped up, and, man, he delivered a strike in the face of pressure. Someone came scot-free, hit him. But I just don't know. I think at that point when they were running pressure, he was like maybe 1 incomplete or 2 incomplete passes. They were shredding them when they brought pressure. And I just don't get the call. What was it, 30 seconds left? I don't know. But it's – man, you leave one-on-one coverage with Cooper Kupp, not to mention the 3rd and 20 earlier in the game.
Yeah.
When nobody was on the best receiver, arguably, right?
Cooper he runs right past him. I mean, it's like I mean, I don't know. It was crazy. I mean, honestly crazy. That was that. And then when you thought the weekend couldn't get any crazier.
Yeah.
May I introduce you to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills? Honestly, like, do we live in the Matrix, or did the NFL script this last weekend? Because, like, just win that Rams game was the craziest playoff game you've ever seen.
Yeah.
This next game comes up, and apparently 13 seconds is all you need, guys.
Insane.
Get anything done. Like, I don't want to hear anyone complaining that they can't get anything done in a short amount of time anymore, because Patrick Mahomes can move worlds in 13 seconds, and Andy Reid and all of that. That game was insane. Josh Allen is a complete stud.
Yes. Take back everything I said about him.
That game was amazing. I feel so bad for everybody up there in Buffalo. I was rooting hard for Buffalo, mostly because of their fan base. We talked about it on this show, who we'd be rooting for and stuff. And I was rooting hard for them, and I really thought they had it. I even said to my son, I was like, oh, buddy, it's over. There's
13 seconds.
I was like, they're going to squib it. That'll take off like 4 or 5 seconds.
Well, why didn't they?
They didn't.
Yeah. I don't understand that.
Sometimes a squib kick can hurt you because you don't squib it far enough. The other team gets it. They throw a Hail Mary and beat you. And then sometimes when you don't squib it, because you don't take the time off, it can kill you. To squib or not to squib is really the question of our time, Lofa.
I mean, if you can the middle of where the wedge is, if you can squib to those guys, because they're not used to handling the ball and they're just like, oh shit, people are running down the field like wide open at me. I better just get on this ball. Sometimes they might have a mental, lapse and just start running. And it's like, okay, yeah, good, run.
Yeah, take the time off the clock. I mean, honestly, if they squib kick that ball and it gets down the field far enough, the Buffalo Bills are headed to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I mean, only if a player is smart enough to catch it at the midline and just take a knee right away. Yeah. No time comes off. They don't take any time off the clock if you give yourself up. I mean, 1 second maybe, but you're already down.
Well, how about the move of just kind of popping it up and letting it?
If you pop up, you can call it fair catch if you pop it up. So but if you do that surprise onside type bounce, which I don't know how far you can get it down the field, but
I don't know anything to take some time off the clock, but they did it.
Even just a second or two. Yeah.
He rejoices, man. I mean, he gets the ball back with 13 seconds, but he's got all the timeouts and everything. So that's what.
He's got one timeout. They only have one timeout.
Oh, only one?
Yeah. So when they lined up, they've been playing. They've been showing the play, and I guess after Kelsey was.
The one timeout's all you need, I guess, if you're gonna.
It is, but you got to get significant yardage, and they did.
Yeah.
Did you see they aired it after Kelsey was like, he told Mahomes, he's like, hey, I'm not running that route. I'm just going to run straight. And because he saw the way they were lined up, the safeties were way off. I don't know what they were doing, but then, the corner and the linebacker, they weren't anywhere near, and there's only one receiver over there. So it's like, get on him. And Mahomes, as he's saying, he's doing the snap count, like, Red 80. He goes, yeah, do it. He's saying, do it. And Kelsey's like, okay. And he just ran straight and he just threw it to him right away. And then nobody touched him for another 20 yards. It was like, it was an incredible play by them.
The prevent defense only works in Madden, you guys. I mean, seriously, that's the only time that it works. I'm so sick of seeing it in real life. It does. It just, I mean, it either works or it gives you a heart attack.
Well, but I mean, even in that
the prevent
in that situation, even if you go man underneath and keep two safeties high, just go 2-man. Even if you hold the guy at the line of scrimmage and they call a holding, 7-8 seconds is going to come off,
right?
And okay, you get to redo it. So if they don't make a play, if they make a big catch, obviously, and I'm not saying go ahead and commit the foul, but even that scenario plays out better for you than getting 5 yards on a hold or something.
How about Josh Allen winning the game twice for the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, like I said, that dude, he'll never hear anything from me again. That was insane.
Ripping the ball. The first one to take the lead.
Yeah.
That pass was insane. And you guys know, I mean, I'm not a Buffalo Bills fan, but I jumped off my couch. What a throw that was. And just.
And then he had a 4th and 10. There was a 4th and 10. So, I mean, as if it doesn't get any more pressure packed, needing a score, you have one last chance to score, and he does it.
Well, and just lowering the shoulder on the runs, which, scary for a quarterback, but the guy is just built, and
he's 6'5", 240.
Yeah, he reminds me of this is maybe an old reference, but there was a quarterback for Washington back in the day, Cody Pickett. Cowboy from Idaho and
I remember Cody
rider. Love Cody Pickett, number 3, I think, for the Dogs. And every time he'd take it on an option, you knew he was more looking to smash
going straight
than pitch it. And Josh Allen reminds me a bit of that. He's like a taller Cody Pickett in my mind.
Cody Pickett was with the Niners, and
he used to,
the 3rd string quarterback, and 2 people got hurt, so he goes in, and he also ran down on kickoffs. They had to switch helmets. They're like, all right, here's your helmet. Go down. And he was running out, and he was hitting people. Shout out to Cody Pickett. That's a name from the past, man. Yeah, he was a beast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Him and who's the receiver? Reggie
Williams.
Yeah, Reggie Williams. Yeah, him and Reggie Williams. Yeah, man. Josh Allen, respect to him. And I just, like I said, I feel bad for the fan base, but you got to give it to the Chiefs there. They did their thing. That's the Chiefs being the Chiefs. Yeah. And Andy Reid being Andy Reid. And Patrick Mahomes just, wow.
I mean, they're what, one game away from going back to the third straight?
Yeah.
It's insane.
And the catch by Kelsey, too, in the end zone, too. I mean, just...
Yeah.
What a catch.
That was good coverage by the linebacker, too. I mean, there wasn't really – I thought, if anything, he was going to put it over to the back pylon. He went back and then back shoulder. And I was like, dude, that's – I don't know what else to tell you, kid.
That's kind of filthy, right? I mean, you got Travis Kelce running a back shoulder. He's basically just boxing anybody out. Like, that's his ball unless it's out of bounds.
Yeah. And it was crazy because I think it was Byron Pringle coming across the middle who I was like, oh, wow, he's wide open. And then he threw it, and I was like, oh, he threw it away. And I was like, oh, shit, Kelce just caught that. Like, I thought he was throwing it out of bounds. That's how crazy that pass and catch was. Incredible stuff. Yeah, what a weekend it was. And it sets up a good weekend coming up. But, we'll see how these games go. I don't know if anything can top that. But well, the last game the Rams and the Niners played was, pretty much that. Niners down 17-0, come all the way back. And they beat the Rams for a second time, this season. So a third time, it's a tall order. It's a big ask. A lot of people are banged up over there too. So
I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous for this coming weekend because I have to root against the other teams in the NFC West. I'm spiteful. That's how I am. So this is not what I wanted to see happen, but nevertheless, that's what's happening. Let's zone in on our picks and predictions. Zone In CBD, the best CBD in the game, everybody. ZoneInCBD.com is where you go. Use promo code
BELIEVE, BLEAV,
for 20% off of all of your purchases, whether it's the powders, the creams, the tankatures, the capsules, tankatures.
There's no A. It's an I.
Who put an A in the prompter? ZoneInCBD.com, everybody. You guys, also, let me remind everybody, the prediction challenge still going on. Predict the outcomes of this weekend's games. Since there's only two possible answers there, let's go back to adding in at least one score. So you got to nail the wins and losses for both of them, but then let's try to get close or close enough or nail one of the scores. They got to nail it, I guess. Still, yeah. Our guy Mike is still holding on somewhere out there.
Big Mike.
Jersey. But, again, Mike, it's if someone else wins, then I think they win, but they got to nail it. So you got to nail the wins and losses, and then you got to nail at least one of the scores from this weekend, or Mike is still in the running to win the jersey at the end. But anyway,
how about we both went 1-3? How terrible is that?
Yeah, we didn't do so good. But this weekend, who you got?
Go first. I got to think about this one.
Well, where do you want to start? AFC, NFC?
Start the NFC.
I don't want either one of them to win.
Who do you hate more? That's what it really comes down to.
Who are you in hate with?
Yeah.
Who am I in hate with more?
Yeah.
Only way to say it. I have always been in hate with the. Oh boy, I don't know. I mean, because the Rams, I hated the Rams kind of first, maybe, as a Seahawk fan.
Back in the day, right?
Yeah, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. I mean, Torrey Holt bobbling the ball as he's running down the field and catching it anyway and ripping my heart out. So I definitely hated them first. I guess Niners. See, the Niners and the Seahawks didn't used to be in the same division. So, like, when I was a kid, you could root for, like, Joe Montana and stuff.
Joe Montana?
There was
the
that.
Actor?
From Criminal Minds? I don't know, man. I hate them both the same. I really do.
Well, this game can't end in a tie like a regular season, unfortunately, Brett. So,
well, then maybe I'll root for. Should I root for Matt Stafford because I feel bad for him because of how much you hate him?
No, I'm rooting for Stafford now.
Now you're rooting for Stafford?
Yeah, I don't like the Niners.
All right, fine. Then I don't like him either. I guess I'll go with Stafford. Mrs.
There you go.
Georgia, so that makes sense.
Get on the train. Plenty of room.
Dude, McVay has way too much hair gel for me to root for that team wholeheartedly ever for anything. Drives me nuts. So, All right, and Cooper's got good triceps, so fine.
Yeah, you got Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. Aaron Donald bothers me, and so does Johnny Hecker still, though, for the record.
Okay. Do you got a score prediction, or are you just going to let this linger?
Aaron Donald one time, look.
Oh,
Aaron
my
Donald's
God.
But one time he put on his helmet to go out on the field and confront somebody. He like made sure to find his helmet first, and I was just like,
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, well, I know, but like at the same time, like,
Okay.
Just go running out there, lose some teeth in the process, you know?
He's on commercials, man. Can't risk the moneymaker.
All right, we've delayed the point too much. I guess I'm taking the Niners. I'm taking.
Oh, okay.
I can't have another team play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. No, thank you. Not 2 years in a row, and not here in LA, because the fans here in LA aren't even real Rams fans anyway. There's all these like public outcries. Don't sell your tickets to Niners fans. Nobody here's an actual fan. They're all fair weather fans. They show up at halfway through the second quarter anyway. They all are annoying. I literally went to a Rams Seahawks game down here one time where the people that had the season tickets and took me to the game both brought salads to the game, Lofa. I'm not rooting for the Rams ever. And I'm also not rooting for the Niners. I just hope the Niners beat the Rams.
Okay. Well,
I yield my time.
I think they keep the streak alive. What did you go with points? What's your just give us a point. We just need points, bro.
Niners 100, Rams 95.
Okay. Yeah. I just it comes down to quarterback play. And as much as I've picked on him, I think Matty Stafford gets the W here and goes to his first Super Bowl. But you're right. It's not a home game, right? I remember Stafford saying, he's like, I didn't think it was going to be that noisy at home when they played last. Yeah. So give me the Rams. Let's go. It's got to be higher score in that last game. Let's go 30-24.
30-24 Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I said 100 to 95, and I took the Niners. Yeah, okay. Even though, I mean, yeah, Debo is going to score 90 by himself.
It could have happened.
All right, flipping over to the AFC. You got the Chiefs.
I do. I just don't think
Joey. All he does is wins.
I know. I mean, no, look, I hope the Bengals win. I'm rooting for the Bengals, but if you're asking me who I think is going to win the game, I don't think either of these defenses can stop either of these offenses because they did play early in the season, and 28-10 or 28-17 and a half. Chiefs were up, and they got shut down to. I think they only had a field goal in the second half, and Joey B put up. 34-31 they won. So I'm just going to flip it this time. I'm going to go 35-31, the Chiefs.
Okay. Look, it's the playoffs. Experience goes a long way. You have Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, tons of vets, guys who have been through the wars. They just won an epic game, 13 seconds left. They've got to be riding high, which is why I'm taking the Bengals in this game.
I love it.
I really am. I think that they're going to shock the world. I think that Joe Burrow is going to be smoking a stogie out there while holding the AFC Championship trophy.
Smoking Joe.
Why not? Maybe because the Chiefs just came off this huge emotional one. I mean, not that the Bengals one wasn't, but like the Chiefs one. I mean, come on. Why not? I like a spoiler. I like a twist. So I'm going to take the Bengals, and I think they win this one. I think the Chiefs are going to score points, so the Bengals are going to have to stay with them. I think they win it. I like your score, but I'll go Bengals 38, Chiefs 35. Close.
We'll say this. I hope that I'm wrong and you're right. I mean, obviously not, because you're going to be fucking bragging forever, but the storylines, if the Bengals and the Niners go, because they faced twice in the 80s, I think. It would be pretty epic.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that'd be fun. Well, that's it for us, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You guys can send us emails, questions, comments, picks, whatever. If you want to hear us talk about something specific, let us know. SeahawksPod@gmail.com. SeahawksPod@gmail.com. Actually, we'll have to get to some emails on the next episode because I've been letting them build up. So we will do that next week as we talk about who will be facing off in the big game. We will know by then. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. It's @BelieveInSeahawks, or you can find our own personal Twitters and Instagrams out there. Lofa's finally got the blue check mark on Instagram. Still waiting on Twitter.
My life's changed ever since then. Just endorsements.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Nice. You're going to be performing at Coachella.
Yeah, so I heard. You break us down this week.
Hands in the middle. I break us down. Okay.
Yeah.
Smokin' Joe. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Smoke him if you got him.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em on 3. Smoke 'em if you got 'em on me. 1, 2, 3.
Smoke him if you got him.